Actually, you know what? This is perfect timing. Is this J. Will here? This is perfect timing because
let's get to him for Wolves.
We were about to get who's my guy? Ed, what's his name? Ed Davis.
Ed Davis. Oh, yeah.
How did Ed Davis look last night?
He came in the game in the first half and immediately, and I'm not joking, had 4 fouls. And Saunders left him in because he's like, it's preseason. Screw it. You're staying in.
Dude, can you foul out in preseason or they just let you rack up
No,
fouls?
you can foul out.
Okay.
He just
definitely foul out.
He just had 4, and they're just like, screw this.
J. Will's like, I fouled out 9 times in preseason. It was
J. Will, what's up,
from
man?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin here on Score North Radio. You can find him 5 to 9 a.m. What's up, J. Will?
Hey guys, how you guys doing? I mean, I gotta tell you before we get into basketball, my heart really goes out to you guys. I mean, 13 points left on the board. Dan Bailey, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But damn it, I wanted you guys to get that one. Plus, like every time I watch Tampa, I'm like, you guys look like exactly the same team that I saw in week 3. Like doesn't seem like there's that much transformation that they're figuring out. You know what I mean? Like there's no difference. Like Tom is still struggling to throw the ball 20-plus yards down the field with the exception of one deep pass to Scotty Miller. Still the same struggle. I feel like that's a game you guys should have won. You guys better win this weekend coming up, I'll tell you that.
Well, now the Vikings have to run the table to get to the playoffs, and they should win at least 2 of these games. But my question for you is, I couldn't imagine being a football player. You grind all week. You're bruised. It's December. You've got broken fingers and whatever, pulled muscles, and it's physically taxing. You're probably knocking 5 to 10 years off of your life, and you move the ball down within range, and then basically a golfer in shoulder pads comes walking out and has a meltdown for 3 hours and just can't fix it. Like, I don't know what the basketball equivalent would be, but like you're grinding, man. It's game 6, it's the playoffs, and then a golfer-looking guy comes out and he has to hit like free throws with his left hand from whatever, and it's like everything rides on this guy that has nothing to do with the actual process. It would be tough if I was a player in that locker room.
Well, it's also the thing too. It's like, I've been in a situation before. Like one of my last college games, I missed some free throws down the stretch, and you would have thought before my free throws, because I didn't shoot the ball that well from the free throw line, even though I can shoot a contested jumper with somebody in the face, was probably a higher rate than my free throw percentage. Don't ask me why. But like something about going to kick the ball, like nobody says anything to you, or people try to give you like the status quo, like pep talk, like, you got it, man, believe in yourself. You're like, stop talking to me. And then when people don't talk to you, like, damn, somebody say something to me. I feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't in that situation.
Yeah, I think that basketball, J. Will, might be the one sport. I don't think there's an outlier position, though, like kicker, goaltender, sort of pitcher in baseball, right? Where I don't think your teammates, if you play those spots, know what to say, because they're like, I weigh 325, I block huge men all day, and you weigh 175 and use your foot. So I think basketball is the one sport where you probably don't have that outlier spot where you don't know what to say, because basically the person to you is a Martian.
Well, plus the fact too, like one of the things that's always kind of thrown me off about that is, I know you have to get yourself in a lather on the sideline, right? You're kicking into a net. But, like, you also don't have the reps of every time I think net, I think OBJ, sorry.
Yeah.
But I feel like you don't have the rhythm. You don't have the lather actually being in the game, like drowning yourself out with the noise. Like, it just makes you think about how challenging of a position that is. Like, you just come out of nowhere and it's like, all right, this is your one job. Your one job.
Yeah.
Like, don't run around. Don't get louder. Don't get lost in a game and make a big play and let that propel you to have bigger plays. It's just do your one job cold out of nowhere and get it done.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I guess the basketball equivalent would be in those situations where like someone gets fouled and then they get hurt, and then the opposing team gets to pick who shoots the free throws, and they just pick the seventh guy off the bench who's been sitting there he hasn't taken a shot since pregame warmups, and he has to come in a key spot like that.
I got to tell you, I've been in that situation a couple of times, and you will find me on the court at the other side of the court talking to a fan like I am not on the court.
Yeah, don't pick me. Don't pick me.
What do you guys? Don't pick me, please. Pick somebody else. Don't put me on the free throw line. What kind of popcorn is that? Great. That's awesome.
Can I have some, please?
It's great.
Speaking of that, are you guys okay with Anthony Edwards' first performance? Like, how do we feel about it moving forward?
Oh, let's just say that the first two games, Jay Will, and I'll put this as nicely as possible, have been rough. They've been very rough. Cat is not cat yet. Here's my question, because there's a lot of things in the two games that have been terrible, but this team also hadn't played since March, so it's hard to get panicked yet. But my question to you is this, because this is the one thing that they absolutely aren't doing, and I would think just comes down to effort. Defensively, like transition, the Wolves are like standing around, lazy. I don't get that. That to me would be the one thing that from day one of training camp could be controlled. So I would say if I have a grand assessment for you to talk about and tell me if I'm right or wrong, it would seem to me there'd be no excuse for your defense to be as lazy as what I've seen in the two games against Memphis.
Well, first off, I'll say this. The fact that the Grizzlies put up 36 points in the first quarter alone, I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, the one thing that I always hear people talk about in football is that, defense always travels, right? So, and it's the same in basketball. You may not be able to make shots. You may not be able to shoot the ball well, but your effort needs to be consistent, especially for a team coming off the season that they had last year, right? Everything that happened to Cat, trying to make your mark, having the first pick in the draft, all these different things. And you would think that, also on the offensive side of the ball, that the Wolves starting lineup, relied, I feel like it was like the D'Angelo Russell show. Like Karl-Anthony Towns, Malik Beasley were ice cold, like Jake Layman, Josh Okogie, only attempted 2 shots in the game. It just feels like I don't know. It's almost like the offense is almost as big as the problem as the defense. And I don't understand. I understand it's preseason. I get that. But this isn't the team this is not the Los Angeles Lakers. This is not a veteran team that has guys that are used to turning it on. This is a team that needs to build the right habits, and that starts with defensive principles and playing hard all the time, because there's no margin. They don't have the margin to not play hard, to coast and just win games offensively. It's been very, very disappointing these first 2 preseason games.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you saw the video circulating on social media the last couple of days, but it was the first preseason game. Karl-Anthony Towns, and he's been open saying, I don't think basketball is going to be super therapeutic. This has been the hardest year of my life. I miss my mom. I've had other family members die from COVID, and this is just going to be really hard. He's been open with the media and with the fans, and then video surfaces of the pregame introductions before their first preseason game against Memphis a few days ago, and he couldn't even get off the bench. He was so inconsolable for the intros. His team had to come over. So they're trying to walk around this fine line of getting this team to mold and gel, but also be patient with Karl-Anthony Towns, who's going through this emotional turmoil. It's really tough, Jay Will.
Yeah, I'm watching the video right now. I had heard about it. Here's the thing. I've had a lot of loss in my life. I think one of the reasons why I missed you guys last week is because my mom's been going through a lot. My mom has 2 kidney transplants. She's had diverticulitis. She has an ostomy bag. She's had congenital heart failure. All 4 of those things, with the exception of the first kidney transplant, have happened in the last year and a half. But it's been the last 10, 11 years of my life have been really challenging. And I've almost lost my mom multiple times. And I'm psychologically being very real with you guys, preparing for that moment when it happens, right? And I think one of the things that I utilize in order to get the best version of myself with my wife, with my daughter, and with my job is this is who my mom wants me to be, a fighter. I haven't talked to Kat in a while. I can't imagine the loss that he's gone through and how you have to deal with that so quickly. Not only I've known Jackie for most of my life, being from New Jersey, went to the same school. I know how she was always there for him. I saw the way she was there at Kentucky. I've known Senior for a while. We've always talked, especially when he was coming out of Kentucky. And I know that's painful, but, Cat has to find a way to play for something bigger. And I know basketball isn't, it may not seem like it's the utmost priority, but the one thing I will say that I miss so damn much, and you guys can both talk about this, that basketball court was my safe haven, man. It was a place I could take out all my anger, all my frustration, all my sorrow. It was a place where I can get lost in something other than the reality that was occurring in my life. And I hope Cat can find that place with the court again, because he has to in order for him to be the best version of himself. And that's what the city of Minnesota, and that's what he deserves. It is.
So how tough is that to, especially in the pros, Jay Will? How tough is it to mentally not be all there and yet try and play against guys who are arguably probably the greatest players in the world on a nightly basis?
Well, I mean, look, when you sign a 5-year, $158 million contract, right, your money's guaranteed. So there is this thing like I've done it, right? I have my money. But I know Cat isn't built just that way, right? I mean, I know he's always wanted to make that kind of money, but that's not who he is. The amazing thing for Cat is that if he's engaged, if he finds a way to get lost into the game, there's really nobody that can stop him. There really isn't. He just needs to find that aggressive mental place consistently to be the player that we all think he can be. I think this is a hurdle that a lot of people are going through in life with their jobs. I think, unfortunately for Karl, it's going to be magnified because he's going to be in the public eye, just like a lot of other people dealing with this, other athletes, other celebrities. But I think there is an element of patience that needs to occur. But after a while, you're going to have to, it's going to be up to his teammates and ultimately himself to get himself out of this place. I don't know if there's a specific time frame on how to deal with that, guys. But there is going to become a time when people like fans and media and organization is going to say, we have to find a way to move forward. And if we don't, there might be some issues there.
Yeah. Jay Will, I know that that my guy Ed Davis played 7 minutes and didn't register any statistics other than his 4 fouls.
4 fouls.
But he waved a great towel on the bench.
Hold on a second. Jay Will, your Giants, what happened? They didn't help the Vikings.
I came on the show to be positive, to talk about things that I knew we were going to – look, you go on the road, you beat Seattle with Colt McCoy, you do what you do to Russell Wilson, you turn around, everybody's like, oh, look, the defense is great, and the spread is in their favor, and it's a top 10 defense, and the Cardinals have lost 3 games in a row, and, I'm hearing Keyshawn still, go back to calling the Cardinals cute, and Kyler Murray, and all these different things, and I'm sitting there saying, like, this is a complete setup game. It's a setup game for the Giants. Like you think you're going to roll over that game. Daniel Jones comes back from a hamstring injury. He can barely move in the pocket. We're turning the ball over again. We're fumbling the ball. And now we got the Browns. Great, coming off a loss to the Ravens. After last night, the game of the year, I'm motivated.
Dude,
Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry. Great, awesome. I'm excited for our season.
What a game!
By the way, are we buying the cramps? I will say this: if it was a cover up for Lamar having some stomach issues, to do the IV wrap on the left arm as a cover up is a brilliant play. Yeah, I will give him that.
Hey guys, we've all witnessed this. I saw the back room video of him running to the locker room. When you wave off the equipment guy, right? So quick. That's not because you have a cramp. That's because your booty has a cramp.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you cramped, you wouldn't run
on the ESPN app while he was on the toilet.
Right? Okay. You'd limp. You wouldn't run.
Exactly.
Dude,
you run and say, get out of the way. And that's a tight run. We all know that run.
Oh, yeah.
Know that run.
Dude, he waved that guy off. He waved that guy off like he was like the brakes were cut on his car and he's going down the hill and he's like, get out of the way, dude. I can't stop.
Twitter last night proved we're all 12.
The Ravens weren't wearing white pants.
Oh, yeah. God.
I'm really happy they weren't wearing white.
No, I'm telling you, Twitter last night proved at heart we're all 12 still.
We need that, guys. I mean, that's going to be the meme for the next 5 years, and I look forward to it.
Jay Will, thanks for coming on, man. You can check out Jay Will with Keyshawn and Zubin on ESPN Radio, Score North Radio here in the Twin Cities. We'll talk again, man.
Guys, please don't lose to the Bears.
Well, the Bears looked great for the first time all year last week.
The Texans.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Please don't.
Is it possible the Texans could fire their interim coach before the season?
Romeo Crennel's like 79 years old. Don't worry, he ain't coming back.
Has a team ever fired their coach and then fired their interim in the same year? That's how bad it is.
I don't think so, but they should be the first.
I'm just watching, Kirk throw to Justin Jeffries. I'm watching, Josh Allen throw to Stephon Diggs, and I'm like, poor Deshaun Watson. He got paid all this money. Who the hell is he throwing the ball to?
Yeah, did you guys see that play? He rolls out, he evacuates from pressure, and he's off balance, off one leg, throws to some wide open backup tight end of the end zone. The ball just bounces off the guy's chest.
Yeah, that's
dude.
Thank you, Bill O'Brien.
That's 2020 for you.
Yep.
Amen.
All right, Jay Will. Take care, man.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
That is Jay Williams.
Did last night not prove we're all 12?
Yeah.
I have never seen so many people excited by a guy who might have had the runs.
By the way, did you see Pro Football Talk said he's reported that a company has offered the Ravens a bidet?
Really?
Yes.
Great marketing opportunity.
All from me.
Great marketing opportunity.
Are you taking all the credit?
I am taking the credit for this.
You didn't invent them. They were big in Europe a long time ago.
It's not a coincidence that within the last week, now all of a sudden bidets are now becoming discussed universally.
I'm telling you, Cleveland does not have bidets. No way the city of Cleveland has.
That's a large assumption, man.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you.
He probably thought because he went in there and they were still up by 2 touchdowns, right? Yeah. He's like, I guess I could try. Well, we're up by 2 touchdowns. Whatever. I'll just
take my time.
I'll be fine, right? And then all of a sudden,
you think he was scrolling through his phone?
Holy crap, we're losing!
Oh, what's going on out there? What's going on? Oh, my stomach.